I actually don't believe it was a coincidence because I really think I was looking for some answers. My cousin Angela, who's also visits Lawrence, told me about this guy that a friend of hers had seen in the RDS, and he had a stall set up at some event, and she visited him and couldn't believe what he did. So it's really through word of mouth, through my cousin, but I actually don't believe it was a coincidence because I really think I was looking for some answers. I was at a point in my life where I had been poked and prodded and operated on, and I probably had reached exhaustion. So finding Lawrence, I really believe was meant to happen for me. I'll never forget the first day I came in here. My first experience was unbelievable. I walked in on a cold, wet September day, and I had a hip operation January a year ago, and so I had a difference in the length of my legs, even though the consultant had said on the scan everything is perfect. So from January to September I had been walking around in complete agony with a wedge. I had been on the beach on holidays in June and couldn't walk on the beach because there was such a difference in my legs. So I was really in a lot of pain and I couldn't really walk barefoot. So I walked in here to Lawrence in a pair of ankle boots similar to the ones I've on. And I walked in, and knowing now what I know about Lawrence, he doesn't say a lot. You don't have to tell him your life story. And I walked in and filled up with tears saying, this is who I am and this is the problems I have and everything. And he took one look at me like Lawrence does and he goes, oh my goodness. He said, he just said, you know, you shouldn't be like this. And he told me straight away things that I couldn't believe. Your right shoulder has collapsed and it's affecting your breathing. And I went, really? Because I had been short of breath, but had gone to a doctor who said there was all these things wrong with me and put me on medication. And I said, that's amazing. And I started rambling and waffling about my whole life story and everything. He said, okay, he said, let's just put you down on the table. And I said, one big problem I have is the difference in the length of my legs. I've had a hip operation, I've had my hip replaced. And he said, look, I'm just going to do some little manipulations on you. I was probably quite tense my first time here, didn't know what to expect. When he did the cracking of my neck, it felt weird, but this great sense of release. And he worked on my back, and I stood up, and I'd taken my shoes off actually, and I stood up and walked across the floor, and the very first time I came in here, he corrected the difference in the length of my legs. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I cried. I literally cried. I could not stop crying. I couldn't stop crying. Coming into him was just this absolute release of energy, emotion, pain, so much. Phenomenal, phenomenal, my first visit. That has given me where I am right now because it's pretty much a year, September a year ago, that I have been on this absolute path of discovery, complete 360 degrees on my outlook on life, complete 360 on my outlook of the medical profession. It's given me confidence in myself and my body because I'd lost all confidence in who I was and what I was doing. And every time I come in here, I say it to Lawrence, every time I come in here, I learn something new. I feel like I can breathe. I know I'm walking taller, not just physically because I can walk taller, but because I feel like I have my head lifted above the clouds. I feel like I've been asleep for the past 30 odd years and everyone around me has been asleep. The difference for me is just seeing life so much more positively and as if I can control it myself now. It's information though, it's having the information, feeding you the information and learning about what's out there other than mainstream medication, mainstream hospitals, mainstream everything. I would say to people, if you have a niggling thought or feeling about your medical situation or how you're feeling and you're not happy with it, then you should trust your instincts. And for me, I think I suppressed my instincts for quite a long time. And I think one big problem is we feel like other people are better informed than ourselves. You know, that consultant knows my welfare better than I do. That teacher, that doctor, they know the best decisions for me, which is not the case.